wait a few seconds because I don't know when this starts. Very often there's a delay, so I'm going to give it a few seconds. If you're watching this, I apologize. But I'm not going to start until I'm sure. Okay, welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I'm Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping or wholesaling houses, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. Now, question today is, what is sweat equity? So let me talk a little bit about what it means, and if you stay to the end, I'm going to sort of explain how it plays into investing in real estate. What sweat equity really means is that you are going to put in some sweat, some work instead of money. So the concept would be, hey, you seller, you got a crappy house. I'm going to go work the house, fix it up, and then I want you to sell it to me sort of for a discount, right? I'm putting in a sweat equity, or I'm buying something at a huge discount because I'm going to put sweat equity into it. And I'm going to work it, right? Sweat usually means you're doing work, right? Now, sometimes sweat equity is something you did already, as I said in the first example, right? So you go to someone, you say, hey, I'll bust my ass on this property, right? I'll fix it up, I'll paint it, I'll put it in a new kitchen, whatever the hell you're going to do, some kind of work, some major thing. I'm going to sand the floors and stain them. And then you put in sweat equity, right? You put in some kind of value add to the property based on work you've done, the sweat you've put in. Now, the problem with the concept of sweat equity when you're building a business is that, and every single person I know who's done something like this has told me, is that it's not a great idea, right? Now, it seems like a good idea, right? Even if you're someone who has a tremendous amount of time, right? Let's say you're someone who works completely on your own pace, right? Today, after the pandemic, there are people who can work whenever, right? Work in the middle of the night, work whenever. But even if you have unlimited time, well, no one has unlimited time, but if you have a lot of free time, the idea that you're going to do the actual work to the property is a bad idea for a host of reasons. But I'm going to give a couple off the bat. The number one reason why it's a bad idea is because it'll probably take you, now assuming you've already bought the property, it'll probably take you a lot more time to do the work than it would somebody else. Now, I have a relative that did this. Their goal was never to sell the property. Now, if your goal is to just live in the property and you want to buy a discounted property and do the work yourself, that's perfectly fine. But if your goal is to sell the property at a profit, then doing the work yourself is usually a bad idea because A, it's going to take you much longer. B, it's not really a duplicatable system, right? So I know someone once said to me, I bought like 4 properties, I bought them, I moved into them, I did the work, I moved on, and I look at it and it's like, yeah, every 2 years she did a property. And the problem with that is that it's very hard to, first of all, it's impossible to duplicate yourself if you're doing the work. Second of all, you have really a limited amount of time when it comes to doing, labor like that. So, and most importantly is you can't really build a business. So like if you're working on a property and you're the one doing the work and another opportunity comes for you to buy it, you're going to turn it down because you can't be in 2 places at one time. So from a business perspective, it's a bad idea. If it's just a personal thing where you want to just buy something, fix it up, it's fine. And for this person, she was living in it, so she was getting that advantage, and she was able to live in something. Although it's not easy to live in something that's under construction, so you've got to understand that there are limitations to sweat equity and what they can mean. Now I'm almost 4 minutes into a video, and I'm gonna have to talk for 10 minutes. Let's talk about other options. So let's talk about using a contractor as opposed to sweat equity. Sorry. So I hate contractors in general. Most of them are terrible business people. Some of them are really nice guys. A lot of them are really nice guys, but they're not good business people. Almost all general contractors were tradesmen or subcontractors. They were a carpenter, they were a plumber, they were whatever they were. And then they decided to open a business because they didn't want to give up that extra money that the GC, the general contractor, was going to get. Most of these guys do not know how to run a business. And one of the biggest problems with contractors is they don't know how to run their labor and they don't know how to run their time. And that is a problem, right? Guys are not reliable. They tell you you're going to do something and they don't do it. And it's because crap happens in life, right? And they very often don't know how to price out a deal. And what happens when they misprice a deal, and you say, who cares? They am I going the right way here? That's what I should be on. I got to move this camera a bit. Oh boy. Okay, so So they misprice the deal, they underquote you, and then they realize, crap, I'm underwater on this deal, and then they move on to other deals, right? A lot of contractors are always looking for the next deal because they get a big fat initial deposit check and they want that money. And that's a problem. I had a lot of contractors that were good with one job. The second I gave a second job, everything went to hell. I've had contractors that were good with two jobs. As soon as I got a third job, a disaster struck. And that happens a lot. It happens a lot. And guys are not straightforward with you. I personally believe I could build a 8-figure contracting business within a few years with only the concept of being, we're going to communicate with you every single day. I mean, it sounds stupid, right? There are no contractors that communicate every single day. You working on 5 jobs, you make 5 phone calls each day. Even if the goal is to say, listen, we're not doing any work for you today because we're waiting for the plumber to come and he's got to fix that before we close up the walls. That's fine. But no contractor has figured that out. Not that I know of. And to me, it's the most simplest thing I've ever seen. I was told that if I blow my nose, it's very loud. So one second. I hope that wasn't too loud. So I think I could, honest to God, and I'm willing to do it if somebody wants to go into a business with me, start a contracting business, and the only thing we say is we contact you every single day we're on the job, every business day we're on the job, whatever's happening. But that's my thoughts. So sweat equity is really doing the work yourself. When it comes to the real estate business, what people say is, oh, I'm going to buy some really beat up house and I'm going to do the work myself. I'm going to save so much money I don't have to pay a contractor. But the problem is when you're working on a house that you want to sell, time is money, right? And if it's taking you a year to do work that a contractor would take 2 months, you just pay 10 more months. You own the thing for 10 months. Now, let's understand what happens in 10 months. The market could shift. Now, lately, in the last 14 years, it's gone up only one direction, so that's been good. But what if it goes the other way? What happens if you get caught by the municipality and now you have a bigger problem and you need a licensed contractor anyway? So you did all this work that maybe doesn't meet code because you don't know code, and the contractor has to come and undo it. So you might be wasting your time. So I think it's important. I had a bottle of water here. Oh, 1 second. I think it's important to understand that doing the work yourself is usually not a good idea because of both the time factor, right, which is a big deal, and knowledge factor, right? Unless you're an experienced contractor, it's fine, but doing it yourself is usually not a good idea. So we use efficiencies of scale in the business, right? Like I could, in theory, I could get all my incoming calls sent to my cell phone. That would be great, right? If I could answer every call, I'd be better than the people that are working for me. But I have 3 people answering those calls and making follow-up calls because they're going to do not as good a job as me, but a better job than me overall because there's 3 of them and they're good. They're really good. So the point is that even if you can do the best job, right? Even if you are a incredibly precise craftsman, the idea that you can do everything is usually a recipe for disaster. So I'm talking a little bit about the different ways I can help you, right? And you can go to howtoflipnewyork.com to see the different ways I can help you. But I have a bunch of interesting ways for you to be able to more efficiently do this business. So I have callers there. I have software that can help you. But in general, if you're watching this, thank you. And you should click like because the thumbs up really help me. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. And the general ways I can help you are all on howtoflipnewyork.com. Then there's a course I created during COVID pandemic, which teaches how to do what I do. That is at howtoflipnewyorkcourse.com. And then if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, and none of these sites are going to obligate you in any way, maybe they'll grab your email address, but that's about it. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. A lot of my coaching students are really hitting it out of the park. I mean, amazing. Guy after 4 months got his first deal. We're closing on it soon, so that's really good. And I think it's something where the course really tells you what to do, but the coaching shows you how to do it. And for some people, they need that extra help, and I'm happy to provide it for a ridiculously low amount of money. I definitely should be charging more. So those are different ways there are more ways I can help you, but go to howtoflipnewyork.com to find out more. And if you're thinking about sweat equity, again, if it's for your own house that you're going to stay in, I think it's a good idea. If it's for an investment property, it's usually a pretty bad idea. And even again, I know people that have done it sort of, I'd say successfully, but the point is you can't duplicate it. You're not going to take on you might have a much better deal coming while you're doing that, and you're not going to buy it because you're not going to be able to be in two places at one time. So those are my thoughts. Thank you very, very much for watching.